Anti-open grazing law hasn't brought peace to Benue, M1YETTI knocks Akeredolu. The M1YETTI Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria on Thursday said the Anti-Open Grazing Prohibition and Ranches Establishment Law 2017 has not brought any peace to Benue State, despite that it was assented to by Governor Samuel Ortom 4 years ago. The group therefore advised Ondo State Governor Akeredolu to create an inclusive law that would accommodate the interests of pastoralists in host communities in the southwest state. Speaking on Arise TV this morning, or the morning show program monitored by Punch, Magban Secretary General Usman Baba Ingelzerma said laws are supposed to bring harmony and understanding in a community and not to further divide the people. He also said pastoralists were not invited to public hearings before some states in the southern part of the country passed their respective anti-open grazing laws. The Punch had earlier reported that the 17 southern governors led by Akeredolu met in Lagos on July 5th, 2021 and set a timeline of Wednesday, 1st of September for the promulgation of the anti-open grazing law in all member states. Akeredolu had on August 31st, 2021 signed into law the anti-grazing bill passed by the State House of Assembly. Some other governors in the southern part of the country had also signed the bill into law in the last few weeks with a move geared towards curbing farmer header crisis and attendant insecurity in the north. Commenting on the move by Akeredolu and his colleagues banning open grazing, Baba Ingezerma said, "We M1YETTI are civilized people and we know that the responsibility of making laws lies in the State House of Assemblies, and we know that once a law is made by the House of Assemblies and assented to by governors, that becomes a law, whether we like it or not, whether good or bad." Okay. The Magban secretary said there is the need to accommodate the interest of his members into the newly assented law in Ondo State through the allocation of land for ranching. Continuing, the Benue State Governor and his Ondo State counterpart have been very vocal in their stance against open grazing in the country on a number of occasions. They have clashed with the presidency, which continued to push for open grazing and recovery for grazing routes for herders. Of course, it's not surprising. M1YETTI again being entitled. It's a private business. Again, it's banned in the state. It's banned in the state. Like, move on. It's not your state. Listen, you have no right to protest against it because you are not from that state. So why should you force another state to? Would you open businesses and give free resources to Yoruba indigenes in in northern states? Would you do that? And again, it's like, why are you even saying anything? Because you're not in any position to change any laws or do anything or like make any impact. Like what's the most that you can do? Because if not for the government that has emboldened you, you would not be saying anything like this at all. So really and truly, like, everything you're saying is inconsequential. Fact is, you sound very entitled. It's not a surprise. You say because he hasn't succeeded in bringing peace to Benue, he won't do the same in Ondo. Well, it was signed 4 years ago, and herders farmers crisis did not start then. It wasn't as intense then as it is now, and of course, it's in the limelight. So I'm unsure as to what. I'm just unsure as to what is even like. What it doesn't make sense. Fact is, like, you're salty, you're upset, you don't like it, but we move. If you want to do that, you go buy your land. Okay? Period. Someone here says, how can an association become a problem to government and people of a country who frustrated Benue grazing law. If it doesn't work in Benue, it doesn't mean it will not work in Ondo State. Listen, and the people of Ondo State are probably most 100% backing this 100% because they themselves understand the trauma that they went through from being terrorized by herdsmen. So, again, unfortunately, it's sad, but it's not your state. So, you really have no right to protest it. Truly, you have no right. So if it's banned, it's banned. Look for somewhere else that is not banned and do it there. It's not that deep. Somebody here says the governor of Benue State has been shouting on the top of his voice over time, but no one seems to understand what he's talking about. If these sort of people are declared terrorists and treated as such in the same manner they went after Khan and Igboho, peace would have been restored reasonably in Nigeria by now. Of course, we all know that. But of course, it's like selective. And I guess, okay, fine, M1YETTI is only for cattle breeders and all that. That's what the organization is meant for, fine. But sometimes the way they nudge and they poke nose into certain topics or events that don't have to do with them. And they're just giving opinions left, right, center that nobody asked for. That is just like, okay, who asked? And I think that has given them more prominence and giving them the also with the government as well, giving them the backing to basically give, like, really and truly, like, you can't do anything about it. You're just an organization. Sorry. You can protest, do all that, but if the state has passed it as a law, fine. We move. We actually move. And so that's just what it is. That is just what it is. So they want us to accept them out of fear. Is that why the attack on Benue people by killer herdsmen has continued? I put it to M1YETTI, has open grazing brought peace to any part of Nigeria? Of course, no. So making a law against open grazing can actually bring peace to this country. As a matter of fact, law against open grazing is a solution to quite a number of our insecurity issues. See, it's never a thing to be like. It's just, it is what it is. Okay. Someone says, M1YETTI, it will suffice to now say you guys are now in a way responsible for the unrest in Benue. Y'all should be arrested and treated in the language y'all understand. I see no lies. M1YETTI, God is greater than you all. See, imagine saying God is greater than you all to M1YETTI. Imagine. That shows the kind of prominence they've gotten into and the audacity that they have to be so entitled to land that is not theirs. But of course, being emboldened by this government, they can do what they like. Put what you think and don't forget to like and subscribe.